Actually, we've heard the president saying that he is going to tackle him.
Yeah,
you
he
know,
said he's going to
revisit it should he win the elections again.
Yeah.
Because that's also a big question mark. And I think it's in bad taste, because and this is an area that also Kenyans have to move. I don't want the Kisii people to be angry that you know, somebody is angry that one of their own issued a judgment. That is not really where we are going. It's not about Maraga. We should be angry even if the Chief Justice was a Kamba or a Kikuyu or a Kalenjin. At the end of the day, this is the judiciary, an independent body that should be left to make its own decisions, and we should respect the decisions. The Chief Justice's decision, irrespective of which community he comes from, was final. And I believe that what the Kisii people or the entire country is angry about, I saw there was an opinion poll that came out that 75 or 76% of Kenyans basically support what the Chief Justice did. So this is not about the Kisii community. This is about Kenya. Kenyans want the judiciary to be independent. Gone are the days where the judges did what the government and the state and the executive did and said.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, the area that the president and the Jubilee fraternity is going is a dangerous area that Kenyans do not want to go. And for that, I say you have to vote NASA.
Whoa, oh, I hear you. Let's just get into this this NASA position paper on irreducible minimums before the fresh elections. The EU met IBC the day before, actually yesterday, and also they gave a memorandum of about 18 points that they felt needed to be dealt with before the next election. I'll just go a few of them quickly. The first one, Form 34Bs. All forms should be printed indicating names of polling stations and candidates, returning officers to physically fill in the forms and make a formal announcement at the constituency level. There should be no use of Excel documents in filling the results forms. All forms should be standardized. There's also another one that says all arrows nationally should be replaced. I mean, amongst many others. I mean, what's your take on this?
I mean, let me tell you what. You know, the other day I saw a clip by Caroline Mutoko, and she was talking about Raila, the man, and it's on her channel. And she said that we have to give Raila credit for one thing, firewalling our democracy. What is democracy? Democracy is the right of every citizen to ask and seek the manner in which we're going to be governed, all right? The manner in which we spend our resources. So we put our legislators, we put our senators, our governors in office, and we want them to do specific things. So the voter's right has to count. And for the voter's right to count, you have to know where are the loopholes to free, fair, credible elections. And Raila, having been a candidate for presidential, including me, I was a candidate, and in Embakasi, I was rigged out. So I know the areas in which we have loopholes. And those are the areas that he wants blocked. Not so that he can win, so that any candidate...
We can have a fair race.
Any candidate that stands in Kenya from MCA to governor to MP, you know that I won. This is the mandate of the people. Can you imagine a people going to vote and then coming out of the station thinking we all voted for X, and then waking up in the morning or in the evening and being told it's Y who won? Because people get disheartened.
And you're trying to look around and wonder, who are these people?
And voter apathy has to be stopped. Because once we have voters that don't want to go out and queue and vote, this country will fall into a dictatorship where anybody can rule.
Now, according to IBC CEO, one Mr. Chinoba, he doesn't understand why the Chief Justice has a problem with how he conducted the elections. According to him, he conducted the best elections ever. Now, he's, of course, a talking point, and NASA have said that if Chiloba doesn't go, then there's no point of going to elections. But do you see IBC doing these reforms in good time? I mean, NASA has also said Al Ghurair cannot print the next set of ballot papers because they did not print them with the correct security features.
Exactly. I mean, let me tell you what, I think whatever NASA has put forward for the Kenyan public and maybe our observers, our donor friends,
Yes.
is the bare minimum. At the end of the day, what do we want? We don't want just Raila to win. To be quite honest, if they do all that, we conduct a free, fair and credible election and Uhuru comes through, so be it. But let the voters' vote count. And I'm saying, if you know that you are as popular as you say you are, the Jubilee candidate, that we won by 1.5 million. For me, I'm saying, then where is the problem? Let's have the system right. You might end up coming back with 3 million votes.
Yeah,
maybe
if
the
you're that
system
popular.
actually cost you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, let's fix the system. Let's have a free, fair and credible election. And the winner takes it all.
Okay, just a quick one. There's a document here with, I mean, it's a bit disturbing. Cost and analysis and opportunity cost of the general election. The August 8th election cost 49 billion. The re-election will cost, the rerun, so to speak, or the other election is going to cost 12 billion. Now, look at the opportunity costs annually. We spend about 900 million towards free primary healthcare. Free maternal healthcare, about 4.3 billion. 4.5 billion needed for school feeding program, which has a deficit of about 2 million. 5.1 billion drought management. Free primary school education, 21.8 billion. And 4.1 billion subsidized fertilizers. What IBC has gobbled up in this bungled election could take care of all this. And we're going to spend another 12 billion. I mean, the cost of doing elections is becoming prohibitive.
I would love to have a comparative cost with other African countries. I mean, Kenya, we're known to be wasteful. We're known to be very corrupt. I will not be surprised if some of this money is actually is the cost of doing the elections wrong. It's the cost. We know there's a lot of voter buying. We know there's a lot of money exchanging hands. We know that there are people who wait outside waiting to be given 1,000 shillings or so.
We have delegations going to state lodges.
So the thing is, I think what would be important is to look at when we came up with these costs, were they realistic? Were they, when you compare them with other countries? Because I have a feeling that in Kenya, we do everything to extremes because everybody's got to eat.
Yeah, and I think there's a comparative thing here with other countries, which I think is even more shocking because it's coming down to about, well, here you go, $25.4 per person. In other countries, the world average is 5.
I told you, Kenyans do things in extreme.
I mean,
and this is,
we are 5 times higher, I mean, than the world average. Rwanda, 1.05.
let me tell you,
Ghana, 0.7.
wait, if you want to have a free, fair and credible election, you need to also have people that have got high integrity and high morals. In Kenya, we have a problem. And the social fabric has been eroded because we reach a position where we say, if our leaders are stealing, why not us?
Yeah.
All right? Integrity, and we need somebody to reinstate that integrity. And I really, and you know, people ask me, oh, why are you with Baba? And I say, it's because I have lost all hope of this young generation that we put in actually dealing with corruption, because all you hear is corruption, denial of corruption, and anti-corruption that doesn't exist. And we need to change that. And now I'm even more worried because we also want to dilute the strength of the judiciary. So I feel that it is so obvious. You know, we know what a kilometer of road costs. We know it. Why would it cost so much more in Kenya? We know what it costs to run an election. Why would it cost so much more in Kenya?
SGR,
so
the
everything in Kenya and the cost of that money, you know, I want to tell Kenyans that at the end of the day, it's not about the tribe, okay? I'm Kikuyu, I'm with Baba. And I get a lot of flack for it because I'm supposed and I'm expected to be with the Kikuyus. Now, this is me. I'm going to be with any leader who can do right by Kenyans. And I also feel that it's about time we break this cycle of tribalism in Kenya. At the end of the day, Raila has tried 3 times to be our president because he has a vision for this country. And every time we stop him. And recently, if I was ever in doubt that, oh, Esther, should you be our should you be there? When I saw Uhuru Kenyatta saying, even if Raila wins, we will impeach him, I thought to myself, this is so deep. And I know I have a few Kikuyu friends who are voting for Baba. And I said to them, I said, why are you voting for Baba? And they say, because we want change, because we're tired of the stealing, because we're worried about 2022, because we know as us Kikuyus, we're not going to support Ruto. You know, it's obvious.
Really? That's what they say?
Yes.
But Uhuru says all the time that 2022,
Let me tell you something.
Ruto is taking
Let me
over.
tell you something. First of all, we cannot have a situation where this country is governed by just two tribes. We've had, and for me, I think it's really not. The Kikuyus are not thinking very intelligently when they feel they have to hold the presidency. They don't have to hold the presidency. We don't have to have either Ruto or Gideon Moi. We can have anybody. I can be president. Anyone can be president. And the biggest problem we're having is that if we, in fact, for me, I feel tribalism will end once we give it to Raila, because Raila is the least tribal person that I know. And when you see, somebody said to me, oh, but the Luos are all going to vote for Raila. I said, yes, because you have done wrong by Raila, not once, 3 times. You've stolen an election from him 3 times. You've not given us a valid good reason. You demonize him and make him look like he's such a horrible person. We go to a level that is so low, we attack even his family members.
Yeah, I had the sentiment of Moses Kure, and I mean...
And let me tell you something. You know this Wembe thing? I love, you know, what I love about NASA is we've got people that are so passionate and they're still very godly, and they go, Mungu ni yule, you know? And I really...
Wembe ni ule,
so we give you goddess. And you know, the thing is, for me, the Luos voted for Kibaki. They never thought for 1 second, he's Kikuyu, we shouldn't vote for him. They just voted for him because at that time, we were united in the purpose. And if Kibaki had done the right thing, if he wasn't made to not honor the memorandum, Raila would have been president, Kibaki would have backed him, unity. You understand? Unity of a nation. All right? Because at the end of the day, this tribal war is being fueled even more now. Even more now. Even though you've got a few people in Luo land and in Western who are supporting Kenyatta, we know it's a lot of money changing hands. It's about money. It's about selling the motherland, because it's not money that will establish the new leader. It's hope for the people of Kenya. And when I say hope for the people of Kenya, I'm talking hope for the people in Rift Valley. I'm talking hope for the people in Central Kenya, because we've got poverty. Poverty.
Do we have poverty in Gatundu?
Of course, even more. Even in Rift Valley, we've got a lot of poverty. We've got a lot of alcoholism. The youth don't know what to do with their lives. We've got a lot of drugs. We've got a lot of things that are going wrong.
I mean, I'm just wondering, this alcoholism thing, I mean, are they seeing an example somewhere? Because
let me know. No, I mean, I know where you're going with that. I really believe that, yes, our president has had a few too many at certain times. And it is wrong. And if I was his advisor, I'd say, you know what, it's okay. If you're a president, you're also human. You can have a few areas where you falter and you do something wrong. And there's nothing wrong with going into rehab. We've had leaders all over the world who go into rehab and deal with an issue or a problem. Let me say something. When I went through depression, I saw a psychiatrist. I was a patient of Dr. Okonji. I went through depression, and it's normal, and I'm not ashamed of it. You know, the other day, Shebesh stood up and said, I'm bipolar, and it's difficult. So we do have conditions. We're human beings. We're not perfect.
Yes.
You know, otherwise Jesus didn't have to come down and die. So we're human beings. We will have problems. And even if you're the president, you can have problems. And I think there is so much strength in sharing your problem and dealing with your problem, because you're holding a very big office.
Wow. Well, I mean, you can pass for a very good counselor as well. Maybe, I don't know if she'll consult you. Let me just go to very quick comments. Jessica Mugambi, surely she's a good leader, non-partisan, on point, fact speaking, not politicking, the future of Kenya leadership. Tungo Chebs, Greeks are no geeks. Mama Tibim. Well, this Tibim thing is not going away. And Jessica is saying she's watching live from Dar es Salaam. Asante sana. We also have Winfred, who says, Rehab material. Wow. Okay. She's referring to that comment you made. Now, Esther, you had an unfortunate incident the other day at Pangani Police Station when Senator Mudhama was arrested. And I listened to that audio clip that I've
I know, actually, that was so funny. Yeah. We have a group of women called Concerned Women of Kenya, where we united and we're from all parties, and we're from all tribes. And we actually, in the group, we don't talk about, we're concerned with women issues, and we are not partisan in any way. Okay. So there's NASA, there's Jubilee, we're all together. There's every tribe, every age group. And I woke up that morning, and I normally wake up at about 4 or 5 o'clock to pray and worship. And I had slept and I was aching all over because this guy really manhandles me.
What really happened?
Well, the thing is, okay, first of all, I mean, I don't have these V8s and Prados. Maybe I'll get one now. I hear there's a loan facility where I can get a Prado and a V8. I don't know. But anyway, so I have a Hyundai. Yes. And my biggest problem throughout the campaign, a normal looking car, you know, which is 8 or 9 years old. Okay. And I can never catch up with these other cars. I mean, they go. Convoys, in fact, when we were with Baba going to Kiambu, I lost you 3 times, you know. Yeah. So it was a bit difficult. So the thing is, I got to Pangani Police Station from Kiambu Road, CID headquarters, late. The gate was closed. So when I get there, I say to this gentleman who was on the outside, I said, I'm the woman representative, can you open? And he goes, no. I go, why not? He goes, I'm not opening. I said, excuse me, I was elected by 800,000 people. I should be able to access any police station. Yes. And then I saw Gladys Wanga is inside, and I said, she's inside and she's the woman rep for Homa Bay. I don't care. You're not entering. So I said, you're going to open the door. You cannot lock the gate. I want to go in. I'm not opening. So he was really, really adamant. So I looked at this guy and I was like, why? And he goes, don't do this, you know, stop talking, you know. And I thought, you're so disrespectful. I don't care. And he was really obnoxious. And I thought to myself, so I asked around, I said, you know, he's a brown fellow, so he could have been anyone. So I was told he's in Njoroge. So I said, are you having a problem with me going in because I'm Kikuyu and I shouldn't be in there with these guys? I said, because if that's your issue, I think it's about time you face up to the fact that I am with them and I want to go in. Yes. And he completely refused. So Gladys Wanga came and said, that's the woman rep for Nairobi, open for her. Refused. Junette came and said, open for her. He refused. In fact, I have a picture of him and Junette on the inside telling him to open for me. So then Moses Kuria's car comes. So I saw an opportunity. They opened the gate. So I rushed in. I rushed in front of Moses Kuria's car. And as I got in, this guy grabbed me. And he's taking me out by force. And I fought through and I got in. And then he goes, you know, you like this to me, you know, you'll see me. But then I called Babu. And I said to Babu, you know, you saw the way this guy manhandled me. And somebody's just whispered to me that he's dangerous. And so Babu and I were talking. Of course, somebody took a picture. And of course, Babu's young enough to be my son. That started another. The picture. We'll get to that. That started another conversation. My goodness, honestly. But the thing is, he manhandled me, and I have a scar on my leg, and I've got some pain on my back. I haven't even been to see a doctor yet. But anyway, the thing is, he manhandled me, and I went. The thing that disappointed me the most is I went to the desk, and I thought I'm in a police station. Babu was like, "You're in a police station. Let's file a complaint." So I go to the desk, and there's a woman in the desk, and I said to her, "I want to make a complaint against a police officer that who manhandled me," and she goes, "No." I go, "What do you mean no?" Yeah. Then I go to the men behind the counter. I said, I want to file a complaint. And they were doing nothing. They were just observers of what's going on in the police station. So he said no. So I go, where's the OCS? I go into the OCS's office and I said to the OCS, I want to file a complaint. And the OCS says, go to the gender desk at the back. Gender desk. So I go to the gender desk. I say, I'm here to file a complaint. I've not got instructions from the OCS. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what's the point of having all these laws in Kenya when you can't implement them? Can you imagine if I, the elected woman leader, cannot file a complaint when I've been assaulted by a cop?
In a police station.
So I've spoken to IPOA. I spoke to somebody from IPOA. And I will go in there to make the complaint. And for me, I'm making the complaint because this man I've been told, is dangerous. And I know a lot of people in police. And I've spoken to a lot of people. And all of them say the same thing. He is dangerous.
I mean, do we have police assassins?
We have.
What do you mean he's dangerous?
Every
cop is trained the same way.
No. Let me tell you something. I think we cannot be We cannot be ignorant to the fact that we have had accusations by human rights bodies about our police having extrajudicial killing. So for me, I think that does happen. And this man, the hate that he had for me, all right, and I think it's probably, and I've seen this a lot, I've seen a lot of people tell me, how can you be on the other side? How can you betray us? Yeah. And I go, I'm not betraying you. I'm actually saving you. You know, you can't think straight. I cannot vote for Uhuru because I'm Kikuyu. I can only vote for Uhuru if I believe he's the best president for this country. And right now, I don't believe he's the best president for this country. I believe that right now he is, all right? Because Uhuru's had his window of 5 years. The poverty levels are so high, and I'm going to be showing Kenyans the poverty levels. But you know, even the very, very poor Kikuyu will still vote for Uhuru because they've been told so many horrible things about Raila, that Raila will do this to us and do that to us and do the other. And you know what? We have another big problem in Kenya. If we know that our son, who is our tribe, who is a leader in government, has stolen billions and billions of shillings. Yes. We don't want him arrested. We don't want him jailed because Niwetu. This Niwetu business has to stop because the money that he stole from the public coffers to serve you. You're not enjoying his billions. But you know what? Somebody said to me one day, Mheshimiwa, even if he's a thief, Niwetu, he's our hero. Now this is how it works. Because the Mheshimiwa steals, he comes and he pays for your funeral. Yes. He comes and he pays for your education. He comes and he pays for your rent when you're stuck. He finds a job for your son. You believe that you owe him. So for me, he does it to a few people, not the majority. But the conversations influence the majority. Let me tell Kenyans, you are supposed to have the best education, the best health, the best housing, water, affordable electricity, infrastructure, jobs opportunities, and all this will come automatically if we have no corruption. Corruption is bleeding this country. It is sinking this country, and it's affecting everyone. You know, when the elections were, when the judgment came and the elections were pushed forward. I mean, we're having another election. Yes. Straight away, the government issued a statement that the subsidy for maize will continue. For me, it's forget the subsidy.
That was bait.
All right? Yeah. No, forget the subsidy. That should be the price of maize or lower. We should be able to produce maize. We've spent billions in Galana and all these places, traveling all over the world. We need to have food affordable for Kenyans. Affordable. So we have a problem. We need jobs for our men. We need security for our women. We need so many things, you know. And I feel that we need to have a change because the issues here, Baba says devolution.
Yes.
All right. There was talk before the elections that Nairobi will be taken over by government because they were so unsure of taking Nairobi. Yes, all right. Now that they've got it, they've got it with Sonko, they might leave it alone, or they might still try and take it if they came in. Baba understands devolution. He understands that devolution requires money. We're not devolving the way we should, so that you can empower the various counties. In the past, they called it Majimboism. Yeah, and everybody was fighting Baba against it. But look at devolution. Imeleta kazi kwa vijana in the devolved counties. It has brought counties that used to say, tunaenda Kenya, you know.
I went to Wajir. They saw tarmac for the first time.
Amazing.
After 50 years
So let me tell you something. This man, and then this man called Raila, who we say is so dangerous. Come on. Raila wants to leave this country united and on the right path, democratic, with beautiful democratic space, with empowerment for the poor people. You know, they said, oh, he was the MP for Kibra for so many years. What did he do? Let me tell you something. They had stopped him. Majority of the landlords in Kibra who are holding these thousands and thousands of mabati houses, let me tell you something. I'm not saying we take away, unapata 2,000. Tukijenga Kibra, we give you a flat made out of mawe where you can get 5,000, okay? Instead of you getting 2,000, like you're giving somebody a house that has dignity. These guys have, first of all, where you have your little mabati house, you cannot even build anything. So you'll stay with that mabati house. We need to go up in the air. We have Nairobi in 2050 will have maybe 70 million people. Where are you going to put them if we're going to be in Mabati? And I'll tell you what, we'll stay with Mabati as long as we don't want slum upgrading. When Uhuru was Minister for Finance, right, he did not allocate money for slum upgrading. So it stopped with what Raila had started and done. So we need slum upgrading. I spoke to Sonko yesterday. He said he's going to have a budget for slum upgrading. And I like that. We need to upgrade the slums. And that will be jobs for our people. That will be better, the Bill of Rights. You live in
dignity.
In a dignified manner.
Yeah. Let me ask you, have you been threatened?
No.
For your political conviction?
I wouldn't say threatened, but I feel, they make me feel like I'm a traitor or I'm a betrayer of my tribe. And I want to say something. My grandmother is Kikuyu. My mother's half Dutch and half Kikuyu. And I cannot tell you that I love Kikuyus more than Luos or Luos more than Kikuyus. I love all the children of God. We are all children of God. I don't know tribalism. I don't have all this. I don't hate Muslims because I'm a Christian. You know, I think these are the things that mess the world. I really believe God gave us free will to find Him and to find good. And we are lost. So for me, I spoke to a Kikuyu friend of mine yesterday and I asked him, I said, tell me something, Jimmy. Did you vote for Raila? He goes, yes, Esther. Because we were having this conversation. I was trying to, of course, tell him why I felt he should vote for Raila. I go, will you vote for Raila again? He goes, yes. Why? Because I want change. I said, Jimmy, are you willing to say that online as a Kikuyu? He goes, Esther, no ways.
It's kind of risky.
No ways. I had a driver who worked for me at Udhiru, and we were looking to field candidates everywhere. So I asked that driver to become an MCA candidate. And right now, he's under so much pressure in Udhiru. You betrayed us. There's no betrayal. There is no betrayal. Even if Ababu is on the other side, don't look at it as betrayal. Look at it as that is what he's decided to do. Let us look, that's how people are deciding to vote, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm trying to tell Kenyans that you don't vote for somebody because he's your tribe. You vote for somebody because he has something better to offer. And stop listening to all these stereotype messages about Raila. And for me, where Uhuru and Ruto lost the plot is the disrespect. You know, the way I've been raised up as an African girl, we have to respect our elders. And Raila has a right to insult them because he's an elder. But they have no right to insult Raila. They have conducted this election with such abuse and disrespect. You know, Kimundu, things like that. For me, I think they've lost the plot.
Okay, before we wrap up, Mheshimiwa, Joseph Obala, tell her I'm watching. I was at Pangani Station on Monday, and that was not in order.
Did he witness it? Did he see it?
Yes, that's just what he's saying.
Does anybody have a clip of it, you know, a video clip of it?
Well, I hope so. Well, I hope so. And
I'll give a reward.
Nairobi politics. Just as we are wrapping up, I mean, Nairobi has been choking under garbage, blah blah blah. I mean, what's your working relationship with the current governor, and what are the plans?
You know, Sonko and I go back a long way. I mean, when I was running in Embakasi, he was amongst my campaign team.
That was in 2008.
2008, yeah.
Yes.
He was in my campaign team. He played a little role in guiding me and mentoring me politically. At one point, we were even talking of being running mates.
Oh, really?
Yes, in the very beginning. At one point, he actually also influenced me going back to school to study to become governor, because there's a time when, of course, Jubilee wanted Waiguru for Nairobi. So we talk. In politics, they say there are no enemies.
So you have a working relationship?
We have a working relationship in the sense that I respect him and he respects me, but politically we were in different camps. Right now, he's the governor, and I respect him for that, and I congratulated him. And I am, you know, like yesterday, I spoke to him about the Kabaddi team needing to go to Rwanda, and I said, nobody has money. He actually took the initiative. He managed to get them tickets. I think he's arranged for money for them to have accommodation. I am in Nasa, and I've gone to the governor, and I've said, I need you to help these people because I don't have the budget for it. And he's done it. So I think Sonko is going to be a governor that will work with everyone. And I think that is brilliant. And that's what he needs to fix Nairobi?
I mean, based on your description of the overall Jubilee leadership, I mean, he's also a Jubilee member, so to speak. Comparatively, what will be the influence of party policies, party dynamics? You know, we have this thing that the party has said ABCD and you want to do ABCD. Does it come across as a guy who is able to stand on his own?
Let me tell you something. Sonko had a hard time. In the very beginning, it was very obvious they didn't want him. You know, I mean, he fought his own battles and he got the Jubilee ticket. I mean, it was very obvious that they were ganging up for someone else. So for me, I think he'll be his own man. And I keep saying that Sonko will thrive more and do better with a Raila government than he would probably with the Jubilee government that wants to control him. Because at the end of the day, Raila believes in devolution, and he wouldn't do what Uhuru's government did to Kidero, withholding funds and paralyzing Kidero. So I think Sonko, would benefit with a NASA government.
He will do better. With
yes, because Raila will not punish him for being Jubilee.
Very well. As we are wrapping up, let me just do 2 comments. Mama Ta, this is Gloria Charlie. I agree with you fully. Let's stop tribalism and stop supporting corrupt leaders. One final word, and also one thing that really moves you about this man, Raila. You've said so much about him.
He is real Baba. I mean, I have my paternal father,
yes,
but I look at Raila as a real father. Raila cares. He's got so much compassion and so much love. And I'll tell you one thing, when I rejoined ODM, there was so much talk, okay, about me being Kikuyu, being somebody who would betray Raila like all the others, Maurice, Shebesh, etc. And Raila got to hear about it. And he realized that I was insecure because I was, there was a lot of, and he put everybody right. And he said, this is not a party for Luos. This is a party for Kenyans. And she is a Kenyan. And she is one of the candidates. And you're all going to respect her. And I thought that was really nice. So he has the fatherly role. He doesn't have revenge. I'll tell you one thing. I bumped into a lady who was in ODM and jumped camp to Jubilee. And she's sitting now, of course, waiting to see what will happen. And I said to her, so what will happen? She says, well, if Jubilee wins, I'm sure I'm going to get a job. And you know what she said? And I'm sure even if Baba wins, I'll get a job. And wow. I loved that. I love that. I'm telling you, there's so many Kikuyus who are scared of supporting Baba openly. So that means the person that they're most scared of is the Kikuyu leader, not the Luo leader. Because Luos don't feel like Baba will punish them if they don't toe the rope. There's nothing like towing the rope. Luos passionately love Baba. Kenyans passionately love Baba because they want justice. And without justice, you can go nowhere. That, it's in our anthem. With the first thing we need to achieve everything else that's in our prayer, in our national anthem, is justice. And the just thing is to let Kenyans have the president that they want. Raila is the people's president. 991-444, M-Pesa.
Wow, I was going to say she took it out of my mouth.
And then say Nairobi, account Nairobi. You know why? Because then I'll say I pushed for it.
Someone is asking about a CBD issue. You'll address it perhaps another time. We want Raila Odinga or you, Esther, to address this issue of Matatu, that we will not access the CBD. I think there's an issue between the governor's office and the Matatu associations. Thank you so very much for joining us, Esther. A quick gift here. These are 5 books. The latest book by Raila
Amazing.
Odinga,
I've read it.
The Quest
Amazing.
for Nationhood.
Amazing.
Kindly distribute them to 5 persons of your choice.
The first Twitter fans or Facebook fans.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I've got 4 because a girlfriend of mine wants one.
Okay.
So the first 4 people, 2 on either side, that ask for this.
Yes.
I'll make sure you get it.
Make sure you get it.
Yeah, this is
the Quest for Nationhood.
And nationhood. That's what he wants. Yes. He wants us to be one nation, one people, lots of love, opportunity for everyone, and an end to poverty. Interdependence and then independence, not dependency. Wow.
Thank you very much, my dear, for joining us. Thank you very much for watching. We are now crossing over live, where we're going to have a press conference to be addressed on the happenings around IEBC. Very well. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.